happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all of you. We're so happy to be here with you in our first live chat in a minute. It's been a few weeks because our life has been wild and crazy. Junior has had a piano and voice recital robotics competition. I drove to Los Angeles, which is hours away from me, 3 times in 1 week. So I put some miles on my car and I'm glad to have a nice quiet weekend ahead of us. So thank you all so much for being here. Today we get to talk about our sneak peek of the beautiful Carnival Panorama, which is now stationed, if you will, in Long Beach, California for year-round sailings to the Mexican Riviera. It's pretty exciting that we get to call this big, beautiful ship our own here on the West Coast. So we're going to talk all about it. Today's episode is sponsored by cruiseline.com, where you can compare cruise prices when you use cruise search on the website. Be sure to check out the website and also find me on Shipmate and add me as a friend. Shipmate is an awesome app. You've got to check it out. How's everybody doing in the chat? Happy birthday, Wicked Wonder 1979. Almost bon voyage, Mike and Cheryl. I know you're a few weeks away from your back-to-back. So excited. I'm seeing a lot of people telling me they're going to be doing a lot of baking this weekend. I think Junior and I might try to sneak in some baking as well. I have to tell you guys, we were at Trader Joe's a few days ago and we got the big old stock of Brussels sprouts. Junior saw it and he wants to make it. So if you know any good Brussels sprout recipes, let me know. In the chat here today, someone who we met at Trader Joe's told me that we should saute them up with bacon. So I think that sounds good. I think a balsamic reduction would be great too. It all sounds wonderful. So enough of the cooking talk. I don't want to make all of you hungry. Let's start talking about the beautiful experience that we had, that I had on Carnival Panorama. Carnival Panorama was christened. The naming ceremony was held on December 10th, which was last Tuesday, also Junior's birthday. I did miss Junior's birthday to attend the naming ceremony. There were no kids allowed on the ship, so I decided to go solo. Daddy stayed home with him because he had so much going on, including a Christmas play that my husband is producing. And so Ebenezer Scrooge was very busy getting his lines read and coordinating with all his friends, so I went alone. It was an incredible experience. It was 6 hours. Yes, I got to see Vanna White and Guy Fieri and, oh my goodness, everyone. It was wonderful. Mr. Cruise Tips TV, I want to let you know my computer just crashed. It's completely restarting right now. So if anything happens in the chat, you just let me know. I lost my notes on Carnival Panorama, but believe me, it's all right here. And I don't need my notes for this one because I have so much to share with you all. We did put together a highlights video for you. If you'd like to see some of our, maybe the top 7 or 8 spots that we experienced, I gotta stop saying we because it was just me, that I experienced on Carnival Panorama, go back and watch that video. We do have some video. It is edited and filmed by me, which means it stinks in comparison to my lovely husband's normal handiwork. I had no stabilizer. I was in a huge rush, but I think we got a little bit of a look at the ship, and it's wonderful. The first thing I want to say is that those of you who listen to our podcast, Cruise Tips TV Unplugged, you will know that the first thing I have to say about Carnival Panorama is that it has that new ship smell. You guys, you walk into a new ship and it smells like a new ship. You get a little of that smell of the carpet, freshly laid carpet. It's very difficult to describe. I'm sure it's a lot like a new car, but it is so cool to be on a completely new and pristine vessel. We don't get those much here on the West Coast, particularly vessels sailing year-round. We've had a few other ships kind of touch down here, like Norwegian Bliss, a newer ship. But for the most part, something brand new never comes to us. So this was a very exciting and new experience. I'd like to share some of my favorite spots on the ship with you. We're not going to be showing any photos or anything like that today. You'll have to look at that video, but I will just tell you about them, and hopefully you can kind of paint the picture in your mind. I'm trying to reboot my computer as we do this. My absolute favorite spot on Carnival Panorama is the brand new Heroes Bar, which was a concept that was dreamed up during the crossing. It was designed, I believe, to be the Skybox Bar, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a vision, I believe that Christine Duffy had the vision of making it a tribute bar to the men and women of our armed forces, retired and active duty. And I just have to tell you guys, it is the coolest venue that Carnival has ever come up with. It is fantastic. There is military memorabilia on the wall. All branches of the armed services are represented. The proceeds from this bar go to, I believe it's Operation Homefront. Again, I don't have my notes in front of me. I'm going from memory. But the drinks have cool, clever names. The staff wears these crazy cool Top Gun-like outfits with horizontal zippers on them. And you just get all the feels when you are in the Heroes Bar. I am so stoked about it, and I'm just incredibly impressed that Carnival thought of that to respect our military men and women. What a beautiful tribute to them. And, you know, we all know that Carnival carries more active duty and retired military than any other line in the world, so good choice, Carnival. I was so blown away by that. Got to see a lot of great people on this ship. If you saw my Instagram stories, you've probably seen all of that, but so much fun. Got to hang out with Doug from Cruise Radio and one of his colleagues. That was a blast, his colleague Richard. Got to see the cruise dudes, got to hang out with Sharon and Jamie from Sharon at Sea, got to meet Alana and Raphael, and just a ton of other wonderful friends. We were taking selfies all night long, so that was a total highlight for me. There's so many other places on the ship that I want to talk about. The Havana Bar is another beautiful location. The Havana Bar, just so you know, if you are cruising on Panorama, it is accessible to everyone. You do not have to be booked in the Havana complex to access the bar. To go out to the pool in the back, you do. So the pool and the hot tubs in that back area are off limits unless you're booked into the Havana complex. But the bar is available for anyone, and they have great live music, and the decor is beautiful. Lots of very punchy aqua. In fact, a lot like our set here. The Carnival Panorama is covered in this beautiful aqua. The spa is another area that I'm totally in love with. The spa and thermal suite is just a 10 out of 10. Pictures do not do it justice. If you've seen some photos on the web of the spa and the mineral pool and the thermal area and the treatment rooms, you just have to see it for yourself. It's so gorgeous. So much of it is outward facing towards the sea. So you got these chiropractic loungers lined up that face out to the ocean, just absolutely gorgeous. So that's another favorite spot of mine. I'm going through these pretty fast, but I want to make sure that we're able to cover as many as we can. Another favorite spot of mine is the Aft Pool. It's beautiful. My computer just booted up, so I'm staring at it, trying to get back into the live chat. The Aft Pool is gorgeous, very classic Carnival aft-facing pool that I love. A couple of hot tubs flanking it, lots of seating, just gorgeous. The LED, I always forget what the LED structure is called. Please forgive me. I'm not going to try to butcher it, but you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm quite sure. It's breathtaking. Again, I've never been on a Vista class ship. This was my first experience, so seeing that LED feature was just gorgeous. So, yeah. I just got back into the chat. It's so good to see all of you. Seth, glad you made it. Hello. Dave and Brandy, glad you made it. Hi, Ella. I can't name everybody, but it's wonderful to see all of you. Even Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog is in the house tonight, even though we're not talking Royal Caribbean. Hi, Matt. I have missed you. So yeah, guys, beautiful ship. I have just so many good things to say about it. There's a lot of different things I'd love to do if I got back on that ship. I'd love to do the Sky Zone, which is the new trampoline park that is in the place of the IMAX theater on the other Vista class ships. It looks great, but I was wearing a dress with tights, and jumping on that sucker just didn't sound good that day, and I didn't have the luxury of stopping and doing anything. I needed to keep on moving. It was great. Yay, Sharon at Sea is here. It was wonderful to meet you guys too. I was just talking about that. So good to meet you and Jamie. Next time I'll have to meet Matthew too. It was awesome. SoCal Seth, you did hear hot tubs. This ship has some gorgeous hot tubs. So beautiful. Such a classy ship, you guys. Oh my goodness sakes. If you'd like to see lots and lots of footage, by the way, you gotta kind of meander over to our Instagram page. Just search Cruise Tips TV, all one word, and look at our story highlights. Story highlights are the little bubbles underneath our profile, and you'll see Panorama 1 and 2. There's some great stuff there. Also, if you'd like to see our Royal Princess footage, we have so many videos from Royal Princess that we have 3 highlights, and I still have more video that I'm posting from Royal Princess, vertical video for Instagram. It's so fun to watch the stories because they move really fast, and if you have a short attention span, they're great. So if you want to see a ton more of Panorama, you definitely want to go look at our Instagram stories. So everybody's talking about Mardi Gras being canceled, so I do want to address that. I'm so sorry to all of you who experienced that. Sharon from Sharon at Sea, I know a lot of your clients, I heard your live stream tonight, a lot of your clients were booked on that, and it's actually the first 8 sailings, I believe, have been canceled. There is no longer going to be sort of the debut in Europe. They're going to be more doing the first revenue cruise out of the East Coast, from what I understand. It's such a bummer. Sure doesn't happen very often, but when it does, boy, that's a really big disappointment. We were not booked on Mardi Gras yet, but very, very sad news. Gosh, and I'm sorry for all of the folks that are out there who have already booked their air, and you're having to deal with all of those changes, and the travel agents out there that are tirelessly working for their clients to get this taken care of and to rebook people into future cruises. Gosh, it's so stressful, and I just really feel for all of you. Truly do. I know, Seth, you have the attention span of a watermelon. So do I. If that means short attention span, so do I. That's why I don't read books. I have to do podcasts and audiobooks because I just can't sit still. Anyhow. Okay, so we've got a question coming in from Becca. Becca said, "Hi, Sherry. Would you recommend Mariner of the Seas or Oasis of the Seas for first-time cruisers on Royal Caribbean for your honeymoon?" You know, when I hear Matt at Royal Caribbean blog talking about new cruiser recommendations, and Matt is in the house, so he might want to weigh in on this too, I often hear Matt saying you should start with maybe a newer and bigger ship and then work your way back down from there. So maybe try Oasis, but then Matt tells me that Mariner is an awesome ship and that you should do that too. Matt, we're on your 65-inch TV. Hi, Royal Caribbean blog family from the Cruise Tips TV fam. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to you guys. Happy holidays. So yeah, thanks for always being so supportive, Matt. You guys are sweethearts. S. Gladding said, "What is the weather like in the Mexican Riviera in December, January, and February?" Okay, good question. In the Mexican Riviera, I'm going to answer your question literally, and then I'm going to answer the whole question. It's very pleasant and warm and tropical. In Cabo San Lucas, Mazatlan, and Puerto Vallarta, it will be warm. However, during those winter months, those are our coldest times of the year in California and the Baja Peninsula. So your sea day going down and your 2 sea days going back are going to be cool as it gets in California or the Baja California coast. So you're talking sweaters, a jacket, and jeans for sure. On our Thanksgiving cruise coming back up, from Mexico, the sea days were balmy and warm and gorgeous. And the port days were balmy and warm and gorgeous, and then the 2 sea days coming back up were very rough and very cool. I wore a jacket for many of those days. You don't need anything crazy like a parka, but you definitely need some layers. Kristen Williams says, "What is your next cruise?" Kristen, I don't know. One thing we've learned about ourselves is that we have to be really careful about planning things too far in advance, very much because of my day job and my work schedule. The longer in advance that we book things, the more often we have to cancel them. So I want to tell you that we're looking at several different things. I'm casually trying to kind of figure out a way to get on Panorama for 7 nights, but I don't have any idea when that will happen. We're very strongly considering another cruise to Japan for the spring flowers. We are very strongly considering a cruise to Tahiti, and that would be like in November of next year, and we're hoping to get on the Enchanted Princess inaugural season over in Europe. So those are some of our dreams right now that are kind of realistic dreams, but I don't know yet. So I hope that that gives you a general idea of what we're thinking of. Would love to hear what ships you guys would like to see us on. Can't make any promises. Got a limited amount of vacation time, but we always listen. Christine Wilson said, what Carnival ship would you recommend for New Year's 2020? Christine, it totally depends on where you live, where you want to sail. I think a Caribbean cruise would be warm and fun to get away from the cold, maybe, if you live somewhere cool. That'd be my advice to you. So maybe look at some of the ships down out of Florida. The great thing is there's so many that there's a lot of really good deals to be had, and this is a good time to get a deposit down on one. Wave season is coming, so you might want to consider booking something during wave season too. So, yeah. All right. So one other thing I want to say, you guys, a lot of you here in the chat today, you might be new to our channel. We'd like to ask you to please subscribe. We would love to continue to pop into your email or to your notifications when our videos go live. So, hey, if you're new, subscribe. Join our Little Cruise Tips TV family. We would love to have you around. And when we get to 100,000 subscribers, everyone in the chat will let you know what's going to happen. I'm not even going to say it, Seth. I'm not even going to say it. All right. Let's see here. I see some other fun questions coming in. Yes, Felicia Sanda for a Tahitian cruise would be so good. So good. Oh my goodness sakes. Yes, Tahiti, guys. We'd love to do it. Did you all know that that's what we wanted to do when we got married 21 years ago and we've never done it? It would be a dream. So you might see us taking a few less cruises this year because they might be a little longer and a little more pricey. We might have to do some budgeting and saving to follow some of those dreams, but we hope to be doing some fun, kind of mass market, budget cruises too, because we love all types of cruising, and we've got a real, I've got an itch to do a cruising on a budget series. I really have this like desire to do a series of vlogs where we set a spending limit every day, and that we even set a spending limit before the cruise. So what do you guys think about a cruising on a budget series? No promises, just an idea. There's nothing booked, but where we say, for example, we might limit our spending to $50 per person per day, not including tips or gratuities, like not including onboard gratuities, but like for actual spending for me, Junior, and husband, $50 a day max. And then, you're welcome, Kristen. And then before the cruise, no spending. So like you've got no new clothes, very limited, what's the word? Cruise prep spending. So I paint my own nails. I do not get a spray tan. It's all on a budget. I think it would be so fun to do it. And we always have a budget when we cruise. So it's something we do, but we don't talk about it a lot. So what do you guys think about that idea? I'm going to check the chat right now and see what everyone's thinking. Okay. Looks like y'all like it. L. Griffin said, I like a challenge. Go for it. Yeah. It'd be a little bit of a challenge because I'd be holding myself accountable. Ken Rizzo said, do you have any ship models? I only have this cute little Princess Cruises one, but this is actually like it's a piggy bank. It's not even really a ship model. I don't collect ship models. I don't like clutter, and nor does my husband. So this is a lot of clutter for us, but our house is very minimalist. So also another way that we save money in order to afford to cruise is we're very, very conscious about stuff. We don't have a lot of things hanging on our walls, not a lot of things like this, but I did get this piggy bank when my son was little, and it's really cute. So it kind of lives here. I will put it right back. Okay, so let's see what other questions we have. All right, so how's that budget? Mel Isidro said, does buying drink packages and dining packages count? Oh yeah, Mel, that would be part of the tally. So I wouldn't buy a drink package. Mr. Cruise Tips TV, if he bought a soda package, that would have to count into the daily count, like that would be part of it. So that would be a consideration. Matt at Royal Caribbean Blog says, no spray tan. I can't cruise without it. Uh-oh, I just hit a light. Ooh, sorry, honey. Yes, no, Matt, seriously, especially in the winter, I'm like pale, you guys. I've got like a catfish arm going on here, right? Like I want my spray tan, and it's only $25 on Thursdays. That's a really good deal, but rules are rules. So yeah. Okay, let's get back to Carnival Panorama. Who has some questions about Carnival Panorama? Anything specific that you'd like to talk about? My computer is back up. I'll pull up my notes, and I'll go back to my list so we can cover some things. one thing about Carnival Panorama, if you're going to be sailing on that ship, is that there's a ton of specialty restaurants that you may want to consider booking into. You've got Bonsai Sushi and Teppanyaki, you've got Gigi's, you've got Fahrenheit 555, the steakhouse. There's just a lot of options at complimentary ones included as well. You've got Guy's Burger, which is complimentary, and then you have the Pig and Anchor Smokehouse Brewhouse, which is free at lunch but charge at dinner. So, you know, really look at those different options for your dining on Panorama and make sure you get your reservations. I have heard that the reservations for dining are booking up very, very far in advance. So if you're cruising on Panorama, please get in there and get those reservations. And I just want to thank Felicia Sandifer. Thank you, Felicia, for the super chat. Oh my goodness sakes, that's so generous. Thank you, thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Cindy Trotman said, how are the cabin sizes? Are they smaller than the older ships? Cindy, I wasn't able to see the full suite of cabins. The only thing I saw was a family harbor balcony, which was nice size, very, very comfortable. And I saw a Havana suite. I didn't even get to see a regular balcony, so I just don't know. Mel said amenities in the rooms looked nice to me, Mel, but again, I didn't get a fair look at the rooms. The rooms were actually not open to media. They were only open to travel agents. My travel agent happened to be there. She's wonderful. And so I got to tag along with her to go in to see a couple of staterooms, but you guys, the line was wrapped around the hallway. And I had to make these choices about my time. I had to say, am I going to stand in a 20-minute line and get 10 seconds of footage with a bunch of people in it for one room, or am I going to go get 5 other places on the ship? So usually it was a matter of time. Zach the Mac said, is there a future river cruise that the CTTV family would want to do if given the opportunity to do so? Yes, 100,000 million times yes. We would love that. I would personally love that too. I would love to do a Christmas markets cruise in Europe along those rivers. Any river cruise where we're allowed to take our son would be very important to us. We do not have any interest in cruising without him right now. So it would have to be something that would accommodate an 11-year-old or higher. He's a pretty mature cruiser, so I think the history would really appeal to him. He's already enjoyed a cruise to Europe and did an excellent job of what's the best word? Navigating through a different type of cruise experience. So I would just love to do that. I also really love to take my mom on a river cruise. She's been on several before and she loves them. So that's something I may do with my mom someday as well. Let's see here. Matt at Royal Caribbean Blog says, how similar is the Panorama to the upcoming Mardi Gras? Matt, it's my understanding that it's totally different, that it's not a Vista class ship, totally new class of ship, different design from what I understand, but I haven't really gone deep into the deck plans. Doug at Cruise Radio did do a kind of a deck by deck video on the concept art, I guess you could basically say, for Mardi Gras, and it does look pretty different to me. John Carey, Merry Christmas to you too, John and Tanya. John says, are there any height or weight restrictions on Skyride? Yes, there are, John. I'm not 100% sure what they are, but I will find out for you. I'm going to Google that right now. It's probably weight, not height, but I'll check. See if we can find it real fast. 300 pounds, and you have to be 48 inches tall. When I said there's not a height restriction, I meant that I don't think that they're going to restrict you for being too tall, but yes, you have to be 48 inches tall. So 300 pounds, 48 inches tall. I'm hoping that that's accurate. Actually, Carnival's website says it's 54 inches, and the weight limit is 250 pounds. So I'm getting conflicting information here, guys. Someone else said 300, and Carnival's website says 250. That's really interesting. I wonder if that's on every single ship. Yep, I'm going to go with Carnival's website for now. But 54 inches, that's pretty, you have to be pretty tall. I'm only 60 inches. I'm barely making it, guys. All right. Margie Cleveland said, how single-friendly is Panorama? Rooms, get-togethers, excursions, etc. I'm not sure, Margie. I didn't have enough time on the ship to be able to deem that. I think it is what you make of it. I think it's probably going to be great, and I don't know about the single rooms, though. But as far as get-togethers and things like that, I think they probably do a great job of it. Norwegian also does an incredible job of it. You might want to consider Norwegian if it's your first singles cruise. Becca Gross says, does Panorama have the same activities as Mardi Gras? No, it does not. It has different activities. For example, Panorama will have the trampoline park. It has the trampoline park, sky ride, things like that, but it does not have the Bolt roller coaster, which Mardi Gras will have, so different ships, different experiences. Great Panorama questions, everybody. Thank you for keeping them coming. I also wanted to talk a little bit about Carnival Kitchen, tell you a little bit about the experience there. Carnival Kitchen is this new kind of groundbreaking culinary studio on Carnival Panorama that you can see footage of in the video highlights that we made here on YouTube. You can also see video highlights of that over on Instagram. There is space for 18 people, so 2 people at a cooking station. You have your entire station. And we do have the sample schedule of an entire week of Carnival Kitchen programming, so to speak, on our Instagram page and in the video that we just published on Carnival Panorama Highlights. There is an upcharge for the different activities. With some of the cooking classes, you stay and you eat. With some of them, you don't. I have heard mixed reviews about it so far. I think that they're still trying to feel people's preferences out and kind of get the groove and things like that, but it sounds like it's coming together. I think that as they sort of get feedback from guests, they may change the offerings, but there's pizza making classes, pasta making classes, apple pie classes. Sharon and Jamie from Sharon at Sea, who are here in the chat this evening, they did the elegant evening one. I think was that what it was called, Sharon? Something like that. And they cooked a Spanish meal, essentially. They made shrimp gambas, they made patatas. All of that stuff is from Spain. I noticed it when I saw your video, guys, that I was like, oh yeah, that's what we used to eat in Spain. They give you a full-on Spanish meal and some rabbit and a tortilla española. That's like what we eat for Christmas every year. It was really funny to watch your video because I was like, except the rabbit. We don't eat the rabbit. So I think they're going to probably be fine-tuning and tweaking all of that just a little bit. But I've heard the pie making is really fun. You have your own induction range with no flame. You get to cook right there. It's just really cool. They put an apron on you. There's merchandise you can buy. Really neat stuff. So that would be something I'd be very interested in doing if we had the opportunity to cruise on the ship for a full week. Also want to mention to everyone that the show that we had the opportunity to see, Rock Revolution, was excellent. It was kind of one of the cruising through the decades kind of typical Carnival productions where they had like different decades of music and really great performers, but they also flew drones in the show. And I just have to tell you, I had chills up my spine when they did the drone performance. Phenomenal. To me, it seems like if you want to get a better shot at seeing the drones, you need to sit on the first floor. I keep saying this to people over and over. Get down on the first floor, because when you're on the second floor, if you're short like I am, there's a glass partition that's hard to see over, and there's a lot of pole obstruction. So I would really recommend you get down on that first floor, but Rock Revolution is very, very good. Go see it for sure. It's a good length too. It's not too long. Also, Waterworks, the new aqua park, is beautiful. They have the 2 different slides. They have the red fun slide, which is an open air corkscrew raft slide. And then they have the blue fun slide, which is kind of a straightaway, really fast slide. So something for everyone there. Really, really cool, really good stuff. So those are kind of the highlights from my experience on Panorama. So now I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. Becky, I would love to tell you again about the Heroes Bar. We talked about it earlier in the chat, and it is my absolute favorite spot on the ship. It was designed to be a tribute bar to the men and women of the armed services, retired and active duty. And in this open space that's just really great, it's a great location. There's a special menu that has really cool drinks that have a special kind of armed services twist. They have wall art and things commemorating all branches of the military, and it's just cool. It just feels so good, and it was absolutely the place that I said to myself, this was the best idea ever, and every single Carnival ship should have a Heroes Bar. It was so cool. And it's practical. It's also very practical. It's just a great watering hole, and they've kept the TVs up. It's a good sports bar still. You still have the sports bar concept. It's great. All right. Becca said, what company is better for suites? We sailed on Carnival but want to go on a Royal Caribbean cruise in a grand suite. Have you been in suites? Programs for the perks. Carnival, in my opinion, has kind of the weakest suite perks of all of the cruise lines. Royal Caribbeans are a little bit better. Princess is really good as well. You might also want to consider a line like Holland America for suite life. Check it out. See what you think. Some really great ones. And if you want to do, make sure you go into a full suite if you're cruising with Princess, not a mini suite if you want all the perks. Probably be good to know. Yeah. Debbie said she heard the shows are good on Panorama from someone who's on board. Yeah, the entertainment staff is phenomenal on this ships. They're seeming to do a really, really good job. Yes, Blaine 2007. I don't know why they keep doing that with the polls. It's kind of a bummer. I don't get it. Sharon and C, you were a bit surprised when you found out rabbit was on the menu. I have to be honest, I would have been put off by that too. Your patatas looked great, the shrimp looked great, the tortilla española looked good, but I would have been like, no thanks on the rabbit too. And I feel like they should have thrown some greens or like a soup or something into your meal. Like we need like a salad to start, or like a palate cleansing sorbet or a fruit. Like it was all kind of like hearty. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm glad you guys made the video because I think it was really good to see the real experience. How you doing over there, pal? Thumbs up, good? Cool. I'm just enjoying everyone's comments for a few minutes here. Seth, wabbits, I know, right? Bugs Bunny would not be happy about this. Oh my goodness sakes. Anybody else have any specific questions about Panorama? I'll do my best to answer them. But yeah, Carnival Kitchen's really cool. I would recommend it. Again, it's one of those things that you can reserve it in advance, and you probably should if you're really set on the time. They have multiple sessions every day though. They had a pretty good lineup, and we have the full schedule. Okay. All right. Oh, Kristen Williams said, please let us know about your next cruise. We really want to cruise with you and have some Aperol Spritz together. Kristen, I am officially addicted to Aperol Spritz. You know how when you go somewhere and you just don't know what to order and you have to have a go-to drink? Mine used to be a martini. And I would always say, can you throw in a little bit of grapefruit juice in my martini? But now my go-to is an Aperol Spritz. It is so refreshing. So I blame MSC Cruise Line for getting me addicted to those wonderful Aperol Spritzes. I'm still a gin and grapefruit girl, but I love me an Aperol Spritz. They're so refreshing and good. All right. Hi, Mom. You're in the house. Good to see you. Oh, no thanks, Mom. I don't want rattlesnake. No. Yes, my dad used to kill rattlesnakes when we go camping to keep us safe, by the way. He wasn't like necessarily hunting them from food. It was just so we didn't like spit our toothpaste on the rattlesnake, and they would eat the dang things and then save the skins. You guys, I grew up with 3 brothers and a wild outdoorsy dad, I'm telling you. My goodness sakes. Yes. John Carey saying, hi all. Yacht Club on MSC has amazing benefits and perks and is very economical. Thank you, John, for saying that. I don't know why I didn't mention the MSC Yacht Club as a suite option, but it is, if I were to book a suite today on a cruise, if I were to say, okay, I have this budget, I want the best experience for my money, MSC would be the first place I would go because the Yacht Club offers something that nobody else really offers. Yes, I understand that Norwegian offers the Haven, but the price point on the Haven is like up here and MSC's is like down here, and the service is phenomenal. If you are okay with the European cruising concept, it will feel a little different, a little more European. We personally love it. John and Tanya love it, and it's just fantastic. Captain's Table MDR is in the house. Captain's Table MDR said, Sherry, did the Panorama feel revolutionary or just small steps with upgraded features, or just evolutionary? Well, see, the hard thing for me about that question is I haven't been on Vista or Horizon, so I can't compare it to its sister ships. To me, it felt revolutionary because I am not accustomed to sailing on new builds all the time, especially when I cruise out of the West Coast. So for us West Coasters, it is revolutionary. But I can't compare it to those 2 ships. So if you're looking for that, you're going to have to find somebody who's been on Vista-class ships and get their opinion. JS said, is the gym on Panorama 24/7? It looks legit. I don't think it's 24/7, Jay, but I do think they have some pretty generous hours. I didn't get the program, but hopefully somebody can figure it out. Matt, are you asking me if I grew up in 1800s Old West? What did I do? Did I like... Oh, the rattlesnakes. Yeah, hunt them and kill them. Save the pelt from my hat. No, seriously, my grandpa used to take the skins and put them on his hat, including the rattler. I mean, it was like the whole thing, and I was like, oh, you guys, I'm surrounded by so many Wild West people. It was crazy, Matt. No, I had a good childhood. We went camping at Lake Havasu every 3 weeks in the summer, and instead of Christmas, we went and hung out on the beach in Puerto Vallarta. I was not sad. I had a good life for sure. All right, you guys. So I hope everybody has enjoyed this. Please consider subscribing. Hit the like button. Do something. Please, please tap all the buttons. It really does actually help us out. I'm being a little bit silly, but it really does help out. We're going to go grab some dinner and kick off the weekend. We will be doing more live streams soon. Thank you for giving us some grace and time to get through this last month that has been extremely busy for our little family here. We really have missed going live, but it has been so action-packed. I have been working late. I have been working early. Being busy in my job is also a good problem to have, so I'm very, very thankful for the busyness, for lack of a better word. It's a wonderful thing. It means the economy is good, right? So let's all be so thankful for our jobs and our benefits and our vacation time and our lives. That's kind of our focus here at Cruise Tips TV is gratitude. Also, guys, we're coming into the very last weekend of the holiday season. Please, everybody take it easy. Wrap those presents, grab some eggnog, but don't do too much. Don't say yes to everything. You don't have to. Spend a little time just resting and relaxing with your family. Take a hot bath, have a glass of wine, sleep in. Don't put on any makeup. That's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm sleeping in and I'm not putting on any makeup. Unless we decide to do another live stream, then I'd put makeup on for you guys. But thank you all so much for being here and for all of your love and support. We appreciate you. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Cruiser of the Week!
Hey, click me to subscribe.